It's happening. We are filming and no cuts, no edits. Hello, welcome to Stream of Consciousness with me and the cow that just said hi in the back. I don't know if you could hear that. Yeah, so just a little snippet about this series I created. It's basically just me filming my unedited thoughts. No edits, no cuts at all. And we're just gonna free flow. No topic, no theme. I am practicing speaking in front of a camera and I like the raw, really raw type style, type content. Not that my other content doesn't have a realness to it, it just takes on a different form, you know? So this is just practice to help me train to speak better, and then potentially one day your girl would love to have a podcast. I'm like planting little seeds, so perhaps this is a stepping stone to that. So anyways, hi, my name is Mariah and this is my channel, Kalidar Creations. I just did this because in my videos usually I add the little like bloop of my channel, but no edits, baby. So yeah, hello. I am being blinded by this light right now. I don't know how the lighting is on here. It has been rainy for the past like 4 or 5 days here, so lighting is no bueno. So we're using a proper little light here just so you can see me. I don't like the way I just said that. I was like, see me. I'm gonna critique myself on here. It's okay. I'm making fun of myself. Okay, I'm doing it with love. Okay, so wow, the other ones that kind of flowed my conversation a little better. Now I don't really know what the fuck to talk about, guys. So I'm almost at 200 followers on here. I'm like 2 away, which feels really exciting, honestly. It absolutely is not about following for me, and I feel like that's why I've had so much patience with it, because I've been consistently posting for like 6 months now, and that is like a long time, but also a short amount of time. And I'm at 200 almost. And yeah, I feel like I'm not necessarily directly posting to get followers. I'm doing it as a journey with myself, but it feels good. 200 feels exciting. And I hope one day I look back at this. I know one day I'll look back at this and be like, wow, baby girl, 200, look at you now, 2 million. Oh, but yeah, so what the fuck do we talk about? Oh God, now I'm a little bit nervous. The free flow, so much freedom. That's what we'll talk about. Having so much potential, when you like hone in to how much potential, when there's like so much possibility, and then, you know, sometimes you feel overwhelmed by all of the possibility, and when excitement veers into anxiety. Let's talk about that, because honestly, that is something that I've been experiencing a little bit lately. I've been noticing my inner realm delving into those spaces because I feel excited. Like right now, I'm in such a new chapter of my life. Like for context, I recently, like 4 or 5 months ago, I went nomadic. I'm traveling right now, and yeah, just being creative with my life and diving into being more of a creative individual. It was like cute. This morning I was like journaling and I wrote, like, I finally feel like I don't want to say that I am this. Like, I don't want to take on the identity of anything necessarily, but I also can say, like, I feel like I'm an artist. That's one of the many hats that I wear, and I feel like I haven't fully like owned up to that role, that identity, that that energy. And now I'm feeling like I've just been expressing myself creatively and artistically, and just today I was reflecting and I was like, yeah, I actually feel like I'm an artist of a sort. Like I have an artistic mind, and that feels exciting because for so long of my life I just like, oh, I wish I could be creative. I'm not creative. And now it's just expressing so much, so freely, so fully. And yeah, I'm like, I'm a creative individual. I'm an artist. And so I feel excited to continue to create and explore. And with that, so let's not get too sidetracked on a side tangent. I feel so much potential and like so many ways that my life could move, both physically because I'm nomadic, and also just what do I want to be doing with my life? You know, having some existential questioning of like, what do I want to be doing? Like, and one of them is like, do I want to be going back to school and studying to be a therapist, like continue that work right now? Or am I going to continue this like diversion from that path, which may circle back to that path eventually? Do I want to keep traveling? I feel like yes. Just side note, people have asked me this before on here. I'll dive more in depth one day, but for now I'll just say that I put money in my savings, and right now I'm traveling on my savings. So of course there is in a way a limit with how far I can travel. I don't want to perceive it in that way that like I'm limited, because I really want to hold the possibility that hold the potential that anything's possible. And that is my goal with what I'm creating, to take this leap and to support myself creatively. And in a way, from where I'm at right now, that feels and may sound very far-fetched, because I just began this journey recently. I don't have a lot of like followers, or, you know, I'm not making money from it. But I believe in myself. Like, I believe in myself, and I feel like I have so much momentum, and I'm just gonna keep showing up with consistency, and then like trusting that anything could fucking happen. Like anything could happen. And I feel like the more that I just show up and pour my energy into these creations, that there's like an inevitability to it, that it's going to start unraveling with momentum. And through that, there is great potential that I could financially support myself in it. And then also through this, I believe that other opportunities can open up to me, where that can also be the case, where I can be supported. So side tangent a bit. But yeah, so I am traveling right now. So it's like not like money is limitless necessarily. I'm traveling in Southeast Asia right now, so it is much more affordable for sure. Although I would love to, I've never been to Europe, I'd love to go to many places. I see them in my future, I do. But yeah, so basically ramble with that. Sorry about the loud car outside. I don't know, I feel like I just went on the ramble. I don't even want to express that I feel like I'm limited in my ability to travel. Let me pause. I feel that the main topic of this is that there feels, like so much openness, because like even within Asia, like there's so many places I could go to right now. Part of me, like last week was like, I'm gonna go and study martial arts for a month in China or Japan. Which is funny. I've never done martial arts, but I just got this spark of inspiration, and I looked it up and found a school that for like a month, very affordable. It's like every day they have a scheduled training and learning different forms of martial arts, calligraphy, Taoism, and all of that. And I'm like, that feels so exciting for me, actually. So that's something that I could do. That's a path I could take. I could just keep free-flowing traveling like this. Like I could go back to school, and there's just, with having so much potential, I feel that the excitement and anxiety are like very similar in a way, you know? Like it's like, what if they are the same feeling? It's just how we orient to the feeling, you know? Because I could be looking at it with like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Or I could be looking at it like, I don't know what to do. And it's that same like buzzy feeling, you know? But yeah, one's just a little bit more fear-based, and one's like open and trusting. And I feel that I've been pretty good at orienting to the open and trusting side, but at times I have, felt that anxiety of like, like overwhelm, you know? And yeah, so that's something I've definitely been noticing in my inner realm a bit. Yeah, so excitement and anxiety, they're like two sides of the same coin, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, I feel, because sometimes I feel we can feel so stuck, like when we don't believe in ourselves and we're just like, oh, I can't create anything that I want, like I'm stuck in this thing. But like I feel like I'm not stuck almost, like which has been a big shift in my life, because in the past so much I felt very like, I felt stuck in so many ways, and I'm sure this still shows up. I don't want to say like I've completely eliminated all of the stuck feelings in my life. No, I'm not gonna say that that's the case. But compared, like how I feel now compared to how I used to feel is so much more free flowing, and I believe in myself way, way more. I believe in my potential. So yeah, it's like, it's just trying to discern, like, am I gonna get distracted by excitement too? Like, I want to make sure that I stay on the path that feels the most fulfilling for me. And the question is, like, what does feel the most fulfilling for me? And I feel like it all boils down to, like, what do I want? You know, like, when I get to this, like, what do we want? But then it's like, what if we want multiple things, bro? What if we want multiple things? Because there is so much possibility. And it's hard because I can see myself living in so many different. Sorry, I was just like, is this microphone on? Okay, yes. Okay, we're good. We're good. I can see myself existing in so many different timelines. Like, yeah, sometimes I've been in these moments of like contemplating, what do I want to do, you know? And then I'll see myself in all these different timelines. Like even ones where I'm like, I could see myself living in New York City and doing this and having like, I don't know, like it's like a whole different, that's like not even who I want. Like I don't like cities. I would not want to live in New York City. I recently just went there and I was like, this is not for me. Everybody has a certain vibe, not for me. But I could see myself doing that timeline. But then it's like, and my mind can see it, but can my heart feel it? And I feel that that's what it kind of boils down to, is like what feels true, what feels most authentic and real for me. So I'm slowly and surely unraveling that. And I feel that that's kind of what life is, that continuous unraveling of like, who am I? What do I want? And we keep meeting ourselves little by little, and in revealing that as time unfolds. And yeah, so where I am right now is very beautiful, and I'm very, very grateful to be here, and I'm just trying to make the most of it, because like I said, I can oscillate between like really feeling super present and excited, and I've been working on my creative projects and training and doing all my things and soaking this up, but then I'll have moments of feeling like, what do I want to do? And then I'll also have moments of feeling nostalgia for like past experiences and being like, man, I miss this. I wish that I like made the most of this opportunity. I wish that I could go back in time. But then it's like, in the past, you know, and I guess the anxieties in the future, I guess this is just the human thing of being pulled away from the present moment. It's like in the past, in the future, like, gosh, I could have did this. What do I want to do? You know, the dance of the mind, the dance of the untamed mind. But yeah, so this is just me on here being a human, okay? I'm just being a human. Sometimes I've had struggles with expressing like how I feel for many reasons, but one of them being, at least the story that I've told myself, is that like I feel a little nervous to express things that I'm feeling, because I don't want that to paint the picture of like who I am, and like I don't want that to be how people perceive that I always am, just because it's like, oh, if I have some moments of anxiety, then people are going to perceive me as this anxious person. And there's so much there to unpack, because that's, first of all, black and white thinking. Like, that's not necessarily the case because we're human and we have moments of feeling solid, but then we also have moments of feeling wavering from that center. So just because I waver from that solid space doesn't mean that that is who I am. I'm not any of this stuff too. If we want to get really like meta with it, it's like, who am I? Am I what I'm experiencing? Am I that feeling? It's like, no, I'm not. Just this, like, everything's fleeting. Like, who am I? You know, we can get really existential about it. And then the other layer of like, what does it matter what other people think about me? You know, it's like, do I really need someone else's perception to validate or invalidate who I feel like I am, who I am? Like, if someone perceives me in a way that I don't like, does that validate within me a part of myself that also feels that way? That is the thing. I read this Ram Dass quote, which I actually said in my last stream of consciousness, and I've just been thinking about this so much lately, about how we, you know, when we're like afraid to be ourselves in ways, it's like a part of us, yeah, when we show up dishonestly, it's like we're subconsciously seeking validation through other people. We're like looking for people to affirm that we are unlovable. You know, when we restrict our truth, we don't want someone to perceive us as unlovable, which in a way, if we're acting from that space, then we are acting from the identity that believes it's unlovable. So we're showing up that way and trying to control and contort who we are just to maintain some identity that is built upon the structure of feeling like it's unlovable. It's like super fucking trippy if you really dive into it. Yeah, so yeah, just trying to be more solid in myself, in my center. And I feel that I am so much more solid. I remember when I was younger in so many ways, especially like when I was like 22, I remember like that age very, very, very much so feeling confused a lot and just like, just who am I? And so unsolid and insecure in who I was that I feel that my like, that other people's perceptions or other people's opinions, I allowed that to sway me. I just would feel so confused, you know, and I would take on other people's ideas of me because I didn't know who I was. I still am learning who am I, you know, it's that long journey of unraveling that. But yeah, I feel a little bit sick of this light that's on me, honestly. It's like so blinding. I'm like distracted by that. Also, I feel that this is kind of like a therapy session and perhaps my mind is feeling a bit vulnerable right now. What are we even talking about? This happens to me, dude, when I'm in therapy. I've noticed this. Like sometimes if like a really deep topic and then like all of a sudden here and there, I've noticed my mind will just like go blank. I'll name it, you know, I'll be like, my mind just like went blank. Like I can't remember what we're talking about. And it's like, that's the mind's mechanism of like, you know, trying to protect itself. And it'll do that. It's just like avoidance of the situation, like numbing it out so much that you just like forget what you're talking about. So yeah, it's trippy. I really love therapy. Big fan of therapy, honestly. Of course, I feel that it's important to have a good therapist because I feel like there's a lot of therapists out there that are, I wouldn't want to have as my therapist because it's like, it's such a delicate space because I do feel like a lot of people go into that space because they have this like mentality of wanting to help people. Myself included, because I did go to school to be a therapist for a while. I haven't quite finished out my schooling yet. Like I said, that's still a potential. But when I was in school, speaking for myself, and then also other people within my program have shared this as well, saying that like a lot of us have this background of like wanting to help, wanting to fix, wanting to save people, which I feel is not necessarily good or bad. There's like a beautiful I don't want to say like not configuration, but it's like almost the orchestration of someone's lives that can stimulate them into wanting to save, which can then be shifted into like more of a healthier way of relating to people and to be a good therapist. Like it's a good foundation to start to become a therapist from. Like there's nothing wrong with it, but I do feel like if a therapist is operating from the space of wanting to save their client and they don't actually like work through that within themselves, that like needing to save as opposed to just being supportive, I feel like that can get messy and dangerous even in a way, because it's like when someone's trying to save someone else, it's like they distort the situation and like almost like create blankets, like blankets of like safety, which doesn't actually allow the person to see more clearly themselves, like people pleasing and all these certain behaviors, which I have experienced a lot of in my life and thus still do. So it's like, I don't know. And then it's a very selfish behavior in a way, which I've talked about in some videos. It's a bit taboo to talk about, but I really do feel like people pleasing is kind of selfish. Like with the Ram Dass quote, circling back, how when we contort our inner realm to try to save someone else, to help someone else, it's like, it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like there can be like genuineness in it. Like I said, these things can be mixed in. There can be parts that are genuine, but there's also parts that are like, that, feel uncomfortable with the environment, feel discomfort. Someone could feel a lot of discomfort within their own system when someone else is feeling like, so it's like you want to like save that person so that you can feel comfortable. And you also want to save that person because there's that deeper configuration, that deeper programming, maybe when you were a kid and you were in that role of like saving someone. And when you saved the other person, then you received love, in a way, received attention. You were deemed as lovable when you saved that person. So it's almost like that underneath the structure, the unlovable, the identity that feels it's unlovable, that needed to keep showing up and saving people when you're a kid, that shows up when you're an adult. And then it can come into the therapy setting where it's like, if someone's doing that, it is like they're operating from that core identity that they're unlovable. And anyways, so it can be messy with that, and then also just like many other things, but not at all talking against therapy. Like I said, main point, I really love therapy. It's supporting me so much, and if you can find a really good therapist, like amazing. I feel like I've really gotten to know myself so much deeper through therapy. Really amazing, powerful tool. Which, maybe one day I'll become a therapist. Whoa, this bug is crazy looking, dude. Whoa. Wow. Man, all the textures, the last stream of consciousness, I was just going. And this one, I'm feeling a bit more quiet. Just feeling, I guess, the rainy, sleepy weather, but not to blame it on the rain. It's so interesting because it's like, what is impacting what? Because I feel like it's all kind of impacting each other. Like when because it's like sometimes being like, oh, I feel this way because Mercury's in retrograde. But it is like, I do believe that things impact each other, but also if we blame how we feel based on things, that's when it gets murky. So, I don't know, bro. Not necessarily blaming it on the weather. Who's to say? I've been catching myself this morning, like catching myself in the mornings, sorry about the dogs, where I've been really trying to wake up at 5, But lately I've been waking up a little bit later, and like in the morning when it's time for me to wake up, I can feel internally, like I do feel well rested, but I just like, I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to get out of bed." Like it just feels like I'm cozy, and I could fall back asleep. I guess a part of me is like still sleepy. So then my mind will be like, you know, why does it matter? And like start telling me all these things. And it's like interesting because it is kind of true. Like it doesn't matter. I could sleep in later, but they do feel like they're just like kind of excuses or narratives that are starting to play out just so I can get what I want. You know? And then it's like when in the mornings I've been noticing that and just noticing how that plays out throughout the day. Like one of them being like sometimes I'll be like, I don't want to do the dishes, you know, yada yada yada. But I am very on it with my dishes. Like I used to let them pile up. Like this was like 3 or 4 years ago now. Like I've been on it since. I very rarely ever let them pile up because I've developed this habit where this is like a promise I make to myself because I know my mind does this and it'll be like, I don't want to do it. Like maybe I can do it tomorrow. Like, but I'm like, nope. I just set firm boundaries. I'm like, I'm going to do it. Maybe I put some music on. Maybe I don't. Maybe I use it as a full meditation practice, but I just do the damn dishes. And I'm always so happy after. And then as I'm doing them, I'm like, this really isn't that hard, bro. Like it's actually really not hard. And then it keeps a clean space, which helps me keep a clear mind. And then I'm grateful after. Like future me is so stoked. So I show up for future me and do the things that in the moment I don't want to do. But like, that's the thing is I feel like the mind, it's like learning how to dance with the mind, not trying to like control it, but also train it in a way. And yeah, I've been doing that so much. Like I've been super, super hella consistent with my morning routine and everything. Like waking up, moving my body. I've been doing so much in the mornings and really just training my mind because once I start doing the thing that my mind didn't initially want to do, I start to feel good and then I feel good after. And I've been focusing on that feel good feeling and just training my mind to learn that, sometimes the things that I feel resistance to at first are actually really supportive for me. And I feel like that only can be learned through experience. Like you can say it so much, like you can hear someone say like, oh, you know, once you start doing it, it'll feel good. But it's like until you actually like teach your body with like felt lived experience to do this, then it's not going to actually learn that. So you have to actually show up, do the hard things and learn. Teach your body that, like embodying that lesson by showing up in life that way. So that's something I'm very passionate about. I keep my space so fucking clean, dude. Like I make my bed every morning, dishes done, like everything is organized. And I mean, everybody has different ways of living, not to say that my way is right and someone else's way is wrong. I think it's really beautiful. People can be, some people are very like chaotic, kind of like creative, messy, and it works for them. But yeah, for me, just having a clean space, it's so supportive, bro. So good. But alas, we are hitting the 30-minute mark, and my camera, she gets hot and steamy and spicy when she hits that mark. She does not like to keep going. So we're gonna end this stream of consciousness today. I feel like it was a little bit all over the place today, which I guess that's kind of what it is. It's stream of consciousness. It's my mind just free flowing. It's really interesting just like talking this much without having another person to talk to. I feel like I'm just like taking up so much space. Like I'm not giving you guys any space to talk, but I guess that's kind of the point. Cause like, or am I just gonna sit here and stare at the camera? Yeah. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this, bro. If you watch this whole thing, that's fucking crazy to me, bro. You're sitting here, hearing me ramble. If you actually watch this all, let me know. Would you be down to listen to me on a podcast? I don't think it's time just yet, but maybe a year from now, I don't know, maybe even sooner, who knows? I would love to do that. But I feel eventually I'd want to like, you know, have guests and have people to talk to. But yeah, planting seeds. We shall see. But anyways, I hope you have a good ass day, a good ass night, good ass life. And by good, not classifying things in good or bad, I hope you recognize, yeah, just recognize. You know what? I was going to say recognize the beauty, recognize all this, which could be true, but just, I hope you notice. We'll just leave it like that, put a nice little period at it. I hope you notice and do your damn dishes. Those are my notes from the video. I'm still a little shy, just being honest. It's like only our third date, okay? This is my third episode on here. It's our third date. I'm still a little shy, all right? Okay, well, till next time.